All right, now I want to talk about Jalyx Hunt very quickly before I have to get out
It's
of here
pronounced
for a meeting.
Jalyx. It's called
Jalyx
Jalyx.
Hunt.
I'm
Thanks
just
for
kidding.
correcting me.
It's not.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding.
oh,
It's
it's
not that.
not? You're an
No.
ass. Jalyx Hunt from Houston Christian is somebody who I spent a lot of this offseason doing homework on these FCS guys, and he wasn't even on the radar. He is a converted safety from Cornell who transferred to Houston Christian, is bulked up, is 6'4", 248 pounds. And I got to tell you what, man, this guy is so freaking exciting and fun to watch. He is high ceiling, low floor. There is a huge gap between what he capably is. I'm a little worried that the NFL is impatient with a guy like this because they're often
Yeah.
very impatient with guys like this. But tall, freakishly long arms is the prototype that you look for in an edge rusher. Crazy bendy. Ryan, this guy moves so freaking well. There's plays, I tweeted it out. Anyone, I implore you to go check out the tweet that I put out there of the way that he is able to contort his body, to move his arms, to burst. He can be a really dangerous situational pass rusher in the NFL for all the physical tools he brings to the table. There's deficiencies we're going to get to in a second, but God, I really see why he got invited to the Senior Bowl and why he could get drafted in a decent spot.
He's a freak show athlete. I honestly thought when he first got invited by the East-West game, I was like, oh, is that just like a, them finding a gem type of thing, right? Trying to find a diamond. But then he gets a Senior Bowl invite. You're like, oh, must be legs here, right? There must be legs. Because I had not seen Jalyx Hunt, like Jalyx Hunt, however you pronounce his first name. All due respect, Mr. Hunt. But he is, I mean, literally, I Googled his name, and Cornell, I think, was the second thing that popped up on his Google search. And you're looking at the profile, it's like 6'3", 236-pound safety. You're like, one, why are you playing safety at 236 pounds? That's another conversation for a different day. But then you pop on the tape and you're like, oh, all right, man. I mean, he's got the goods. I mean, when you ask me what are the requisite things that I want from an outside track pass rusher, length, explosiveness, and flexibility bend are the three biggest things that I would look for, right? And he has all that. He has all that, man. He can really run. He's a deer. And he could also bend the outside track like the best of them. I mean, this kid has raw tools that you look at, has no idea what he's doing, which makes sense that he's a safety convert, has zero idea what hand usage is.
Yeah.
Zero. But kid's an athlete, man. Kid is a stupid athlete. And on top of that, I mean, I keep talking about stay power, right? Like a sticking point, Joe. Special teams, hello, long, explosive, and fast. Like, yeah, you'll play special teams on that next level, probably
And
at worst. But
he hits too. Like that's somebody
it.
that's a wedge breaker on kickoff, man. That's somebody
Which
if
doesn't
I'm a
exist
special teams
anymore,
coach.
sir. The wedge is
Oh,
obsolete now, so I know what you're talking about.
I hate that saddens me. But
Yep.
yes, you hit the nail on the head there where the highlights are nuts. And he's going
Yes.
against FCS guys. And I watched him against Western Kentucky, which the left tackle is going against too. I don't even know who the heck it is. He just does some crazy nutty things, the way that he bends and bursts and picks up speed. And that could be one of the best pass rushers, situational pass rushers in the NFL. But here's where it comes into play. He is still very clearly learning. This is clearly a safety guy who they just said, you're going to stand up and you're just going to go. I don't know if
Just
that's
run.
literally what they've told him, but that's what it feels like when I'm watching him on film.
Yep.
I feel like his ability to disengage from blocks in the run game is a huge negative. I don't see an effectiveness on understanding it, like you're saying, how to shock, how to peek, how to rip and get off of a blocker, find the football. He really struggles at finding the football and finishing plays at times. Again, newness to the position. And I think with that inability to provide impact against the run, definitely early on is going to keep him off the field for most downs. I think for me right here, Ryan, his floor to his ceiling, his floor, ignoring the fact that he could be out of the league in a couple of years. I think that's very possible. And it's, I'm not saying that he's not capable. I just think that the NFL is sometimes impatient with raw guys, that they might be like, he's still not figuring it out in year two. We got to move on. We got to make a roster spot.
The good thing about him, though, is that the way he can buy himself some time is on special teams. If he comes in and he's on average coverage unit out there, he's doing everything that he needs to do on the special team side of things, then he'll buy himself some developmental time, because then a coach will have to work with him during the actual position drills and the position portions of practice. So if he comes in and he rocks it on special teams, I think he'll have a chance to
Yes.
develop and showcase those skills. I think he'll have a shot.
With that in mind, I have a top 150 grade on him. I think that he goes.
Wow.
Dude,
Wow.
I don't think that's unrealistic because I for a guy like O'Shane Ximenez out of Old Dominion, who a couple years ago went as high as he did, I think there's some similarities. Was not very good against the run, but was just a really explosive pass rusher. And the Giants were hoping he'd develop into that, and he just ended up being a situational pass rusher. I think that
Yeah.
the goal when you draft a kid like Hunt, you're drafting him with that intention of we're going to get him on special teams. We're going to try and add some strength. We're going to coach him up. And we hope that he becomes on third downs the guy that we call into games to just go cause problems or to go get a sack when we need
Yep.
him to. But we don't trust him enough against the run. And I think that if you develop him into that, that is an impact for a team. But as we're talking about here, his longevity in the NFL might be impacted by impatience by NFL rosters. And especially like if he goes on a team that, maybe is a situation where they have roster or coaching staff turnover, he might be one of the first guys that gets bumped.
I had a top 250 on him. I think he is a draftable football player. I think he is a much higher level athlete. I just look at him and I just say, man, there's so much work that needs to be done from a defensive side of the ball. Core strength needs to be developed. His body needs to keep growing. He needs to figure out hand usage in the run and the pass game. And as a pass rusher, he's just bending, man. Like he doesn't have any actual moves to his profile right now. He
That's
doesn't have a
true.
ton of moves to his toolbox. So I think that there's a lot of development needs to happen, which is why I'm slightly more hesitant than you, I would say. But I can buy into the athlete. I just needs to land in the right situation, man. He really needs to land in the right situation. And I think that will determine how good he is.
I think somebody's gonna get all geeked up on him and draft him really early. It's gonna happen. I mean, if Oamagbe Odigizua, no, not him. Who was the kid from the Northwestern kid last year?
Oh, yeah.
He had, oh my god,
Oh, darn. How did I forget his name already? He was a freak show. Ran 4.49 at 280 pounds
I,
or whatever it
I
was.
don't know if Hunt runs that fast, but like if
Yeah.
he can go as early as he did and climb as much as he did, I think that someone's gonna buy in. But
Here.
excuse me, at Joe DeLeone at Sanderson or at Rise and Draft. Thanks for tuning
Oh
in.
my.
We'll be back with more. Make sure you check out Bet Online for all of your sports betting needs. For anything that I do betting related, I go on over to betonline.ag and I use promo code BELIEVE50. BetOnline has all of the latest updated odds for the NFL and college football seasons. Anything you need, whether it's futures, live in-game betting, no matter what, your football betting needs are met at BetOnline. And again, make sure you use that promo code BELIEVE50, BLEAV50 to get a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts.